Imagine standing in a land where the earth never stops moving. Every day, it trembles, cracks, and shakes beneath your feet. But you don't just feel it, you hear it. A low hum, a distant rumble, a vibration that pulses through the ground, long before the first crack of the earth's fury. Now, imagine living in that world, knowing that this vibration could mean the difference between life and death. Most would panic, unsure when the ground might collapse beneath them. But for one ancient tribe, this was not only survival, it was instinct. They could hear the earthquakes coming before they struck. How? And more importantly, why? What ancient knowledge or connection to the earth allowed them to survive where others perished? This isn't just myth. This is a story of extraordinary survival that modern science can't yet fully explain. Stay with me, because what follows will challenge everything you thought you knew about nature's most violent forces. Long before the days of technology and scientific exploration, there existed a tribe whose survival depended on something far more primal than the systems we rely on today. This tribe lived in a land plagued by constant seismic activity, where the Earth's very heartbeat could end everything in the blink of an eye. Situated in one of the most seismically active regions on Earth, the Pacific Ring of Fire, this tribe faced earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and tremors regularly. But what set them apart from the other tribes that vanished under the weight of these natural disasters? The answer lies in their ability to hear the earth move. While other tribes would have fled in fear at the first sign of a tremor, this group had honed an ancient skill. They could feel and sense the vibrations long before the ground would crack. They developed a profound, almost spiritual connection to the land that helped them predict when the earth would roar beneath them. They didn't just survive nature's fury. They understood it, communicated with it, and used it to their advantage. But how did they know? What made them so uniquely attuned to the earth's rhythms? Was it a deep-rooted biological adaptation, passed down through generations? Or was it something more mystical, a gift from the gods, granted to those who lived closest to nature? Today, modern science can barely understand the methods these people used to predict earthquakes. But in their time, it was simply a way of life, the difference between survival and annihilation. But while they had mastered the art of sensing seismic activity, it didn't always guarantee survival. Earthquakes, volcanoes, and tremors came without warning, and despite the tribe's extraordinary abilities, there were moments when even they couldn't escape the destruction. Their survival was not guaranteed. The Earth's power was relentless and unpredictable. The tribe's method of detecting these natural disasters relied on a mixture of rituals, ancient wisdom, and an acute connection to the land. Through observation of animal behavior, subtle vibrations in the earth, and signals from the sky, they learned to interpret the signs that foreshadowed the earth's wrath. But the tension was always present. Sometimes the earth would betray them. Sometimes, even with their heightened senses, they couldn't react fast enough, and entire villages would be lost in the blink of an eye. What's more chilling is that the earthquakes weren't just destructive forces of nature. They held a deeper meaning for the tribe, a spiritual connection. They believed the earth itself was alive, a living entity that communicated through tremors, vibrations, and movements in the land. And when the earth quaked, it was not just a warning of danger. It was a message, a signal from the gods. But what if their ability to hear these signs was more than just superstition? Was there a biological reason why they were so attuned to seismic activity? Or was it a mystical gift passed down from their ancestors, making them the true masters of survival in the face of nature's fury? The tribe didn't just survive by reacting to these signs. They actively worked to enhance their abilities to understand the earth's language. Over generations, they developed complex rituals that allowed them to speak to the earth itself, using rhythm, dance, and sound to communicate with the forces of nature. These rituals, combined with their sharp survival instincts, allowed them to predict the exact moment when the earth would begin to quake. But their survival wasn't always a matter of instinct alone. It was a combination of science, myth, and pure grit. They mapped the land, marked the seismic fault lines, and used their knowledge of animal behavior to predict the upcoming dangers. They studied how certain species of animals would behave differently in the lead-up to a quake. The birds flying erratically, the insects fleeing, the wolves howling. But no matter how much they prepared, the earth could never be fully tamed. Even the tribe's most skilled elders, who had been hearing the earth's whispers for decades, occasionally found themselves caught off guard. The earth didn't care about their rituals, their knowledge, or their survival. It was a powerful, unpredictable force that could strike at any moment. The tribe's seismic survival techniques didn't just fade away. Over time, their wisdom was lost, or so we thought. Today, modern scientists are beginning to uncover the clues left behind, using new technology to understand the ancient methods of seismic prediction. But for the tribe, it was never just about survival. It was about harmony with the earth, listening to its voice, and knowing when it was time to act. As we look to the future, we have to ask ourselves, how much of what we know about surviving disasters today is based on ancient knowledge? And what have we forgotten in the pursuit of technology? Let me know in the comments what you think. And if you want more stories that dive into the mysteries of tribal survival, make sure to hit that subscribe button. The earth is still speaking. Are we listening?